Hello and welcome in. I am MissKinghorn and we are back here in another Sims 4 speed build. Now, a little bit of a disclaimer. This was actually recorded before the new kits, the greenhouse and the basement kits. So you'll see midway through, I think, the recording of this that they come out and that there's new stuff. But we don't use any of those in this build. We are working pre that pack. So this is part of our San Sequoia collection that we're doing in here. So lots of sort of different family homes, and this one fits the bill. So it has 3 bedrooms, 2 upstairs and 1 downstairs, but downstairs also has a gym in it as well, and there is also a spare sort of downstairs bathroom and an ensuite for the main sort of bedroom in there. Now this one is a little bit different to what we've been working on. I have done a lot of sort of older sort of looking houses recently, but this one is very much a modern kind of build because it's some of the items we've not really used from that pack, so a lot of the new windows and things like that, and we do a few new little tricks in here. I have done them previously, but I thought this was a bit of a change. We can do them in here, so you're going to see all of those done around here as well. And the first one is going to actually be with the windows. So we have these base game windows in here, which I think look pretty good. Trying to find out the right sort of positioning for this house as well, because yet again it is on one of these weird little lots that doesn't really work for a big house, but we've managed to get that in here. These lots are not my favorite. Can we go back to the normal sizes? But here is this little trick. So we're using this picture wall art from City Living, I believe, and I wanted shutters for this house. It looked like it had sort of something around the windows, and there's many little tricks or objects that you can use to kind of create them, but I did try a few of the others and nothing really worked. So as you can see, all of these windows have something like that, and then I rotate them around and the backs are flat and they're plain, so they don't have like wall hooks or anything else on the back of them, so they make a really nice sort of shutters. Mine freeze right into here, and you can see the layout here. So we're going straight into the kitchen, into there as well, and yeah, we have a big downstairs sort of kitchen, dining, living space. We do break it up a little bit in there as well. Now, anyone who knows me knows this is the point where I go, I'm not sure about this build. I don't know. This kitchen was a nightmare to get in. I think I had about 3 or 4 different floor plans for this build, trying to figure out a way to get the upstairs area, which is actually a really small space. Plus sort of the kitchen, the dining room. Do I make it just a 2-bedroom? Can I get a 3rd bedroom in? How do I work this out? And in the end, this is kind of the compromise we have. It's a bit of a funky, weird little kitchen in here because the stairs had to go up, and yeah, you kind of just have a little bit of a weird kitchen, but I think it works okay. It's not my favourite kitchen, but it is what it is with the space that I had. Now, another small little disclaimer. You'll see it later on. This kitchen and all of the clutter that I place here is not in its place where it is when it's uploaded to the gallery. I built some walls afterwards, and it destroyed basically it takes away all of my clutter. So I had to redo all of this. I did try to get it as close as I possibly can, but it's never going to be 100%. So it is what it is, and because we actually have these stairs coming here, we can rotate this little cup rack so it is straight onto the wall, and it just looks a little bit better that way in there as well. And just lots of simple little kitchen clutter that I'm sure you're kind of fed up with me using, because I think I use it everywhere, and it's the same clutter time after time, but it works and it looks good, so it fits in here really well. Into there, some tea, some coffee in there, and I think we do also get the big cups set as well over there. Nice little bread bin. Just sort of rearranging everything that we sort of pull out here and there, just so that it all fits into here, and looking good into there. And then obviously we do also have this big island in here. I do put a couple of sort of bar chairs in here as well, so if you are like socializing, you can do that on there. And there is some counter space which you can use as well, so like this little area here, made that sort of more open for you. And then the rest of this stuff just goes here on the little island. Well, it's quite a big island to be fair, but it works quite well into there. And we just size up the or move up the little fruit bowl just to get that into the right little place, and get that in as well. There is actually a lot from the new pack, new expansion pack. I say new, is it still new? We've had new packs since, but I don't really see the kits as being packs. They're just kind of little bonuses. Yes. So kitchen here is nearly done. Into there, and then moving on to the sort of dining area is going to be our next stop. Into there, and we actually do grab out a couple of bar stools, as I said, into there. And then this is where we find out what kind of colour we're going for this build. In the end, we go for a nice bright yellow, so just try and get some pops in here. Most of it is sort of black and white, sort of grey kind of look in here, which I think is quite nice for a modern sort of build like this. And you can see we've got these sort of big picture windows looking out over the back as well. But yes, have some nice bright pops of colour coming through into there. And then there's all of the kitchen glare. Yeah, we have this sort of new trick that we're doing with a big fireplace into here, sort of fireplace, TV unit, kind of all mixed in together. It just sort of gives this whole sort of house a really nice feel into there. And we are using a few pieces from Dine Out as well, so these gorgeous little hallway tables with the little lights on. I thought that just gives it a nice little look, again in that sort of black and white look that we're going for into here. And this is all fully functional, so you will see in the screenshots that it's all lit up as well in there. But I was looking at the space and wondering how I was going to kind of fill it and how we can split it up. And because it's kind of a big room, I needed something to sort of split this place into sort of two, so that I did have that separate sort of living area from the kitchen. So that is what we're doing in there, and you can see I've just sandwiched those together with the slab from Spade. It's actually not a pack I tend to use, strangely enough. I don't tend to use a lot of things. Either I use it like a lot or I don't use it at all. But yes, that's what we're getting into here. And there's the delete protection, realizing at the last minute I need that on into there to cover all of that into here. So this is going to be a little TV area, and then the coffee table, which we've kind of hidden in amongst this. It does work, you just need to actually click on it and then set it to light as well into there. But getting these in here where they shouldn't really be going on there, but it looks so good and like realistic that it would be sort of sat there. So you've got a little stereo and a games console. I kind of thought it might be like a skybox or a sort of box that you would have for your TV, whether it's obviously Sky, Amazon, all of those kind of have little boxes, or they used to before we had the invention of smart TVs into here, and I thought this little area fitted in here, and it makes this whole sort of big room look a little bit more cozy, a little bit more sort of subtle, and more lived in as well than rather being a big expanse of room. So yes, coming together here. We do also get a few little sort of kids games and toys on the back here, so sort of using that sofa as a little bit of a divide again for this big space. But I feel like with those huge big picture windows, it's kind of like traditional at the front and then kind of really modern at the back in there as well. So it looks pretty good into there, and a little bit more of a rug coming through. Trying to get the right size. It's over not right. Too big, too small, just perfect into there. In there, and then here is going to be our third trick of the video already. So this is going to basically be like a little computer desk kind of area, but not using a standard desk. We're using counters into here to kind of make our desk, because the computers snap to that fine. And then we're just gonna have a little bit of a play around with a few pieces in there, just to get some of our clutter to actually like work in there, and just get lots of bits and pieces and clutter just to make it kind of feel a little bit more lived in there, and like a proper sort of office sort of little nook as it were. And then we scale down the two cabinets down to teeny tiny little levels, and then just using a few little pieces underneath. Now, to get these to actually work and for you to be able to use the computer, you do need to click on or be seated on the bar stool and then click on the computer, and it works absolutely fine. Again, you'll see that in the screenshots that it all works into there. And then we're actually using a shelf just as a bit of a desk in there with a debug pole just as a little bit of support for that in there. And then just using a few, as I say, little toys, little pieces coming out into here, a little bit of a kids kind of playroom. Alright, on to the main bedroom down here. Now you can also see I have done the ensuite, the gym and the second bathroom. That's all done down here. And then finally finding this wallpaper. I don't think I've never used it, and I didn't know we actually had it because it's kind of in like one of these little obscure sort of categories in the wallpaper that I haven't seen, and you'll be able to tell here this is when we get the new stuff. So this is literally after the kits came out that we had all of these, so that's why there's some gold items on the side. I slowly get rid of them as we go through sort of all of the builds into there in here. But this again is a very yellow, black and white bedroom in here, but I feel like a very sort of grown-up bedroom as well. It's not quite so in your face. It's subtly yellow, and I think that's what we're going to get in. But you can see there the gym and the bathroom. You'll see those also in the screenshots as well. And yeah, just sort of cluttering up this master bedroom. So the bedrooms we have, we obviously got our main bedroom downstairs. We also have a kids boys room, kind of colours up there, very sporty room up there. And we also have a little bit of a purpley kind of teen bedroom upstairs as well. So kind of got a nice mix of rooms in here, nice sort of fitting 3-bedroom home in there as well. But we are speeding onto here. I wanted to get the piano in here. I've not particularly used it a lot. It was like one of my sort of favourite pieces when we had like all the trailers, and I was like, oh, we've got an outright piano finally. And now I feel like I don't really use it. So I felt like this was the place to put it in, down in the main bedroom. Like maybe it's something that your great aunt left you, and they've kind of found a little space in the bedroom for it. Maybe it's not really used, but that's kind of the idea into here. And then this is the sporty kind of room up here into there. So we've got that wallpaper that's got all of the little football, basketball, balls all over it in there, and we do get lots of the sort of bits and pieces for that out as well. And little desk in here ready for some homework to be done. Up there as well, lots of sort of general clutter all over the place. And trying to use the kids' room stuff. I feel like we used it downstairs for something, and I felt like we needed to get it in up here as well. So that's why we're trying to desperately use some more items from that pack in there as well. And then I remembered that we had this sort of sporting sort of pirate basket thing that had lots of sporty stuff. So that goes into there. Nice little bit of sort of general clutter, just some toys, bits and pieces thrown all over the place into there. And yeah, making it all sort of nice and kiddie and very sort of like for a small child to be living in there. And wanted to also get this little light in as well. We end up with a football one because I thought it was a little bit more in keeping with the whole sort of sporty feel into there. We have some toys downstairs, but there's a few little bases that we get up here as well. And yeah, it's a nice little break. So here's some of the sort of in-game balls that we have. So basketball, a couple of little footballs, and the American football as well. Little art set in here. We have so many art drawing desks. It's a bit crazy how many we have and why we have so many in here as well. We can just get the little rocket in there as well. Just a little school project that maybe he's working on or currently doing into there. And then right at the last minute realised that we have these rugs that are very sort of sporty. So that's what we get into there. And then on to some wall art, some sort of cool sports themed pictures and drawings and all sorts of other posters and the like that we get around the place. You cannot get out from this room without being a sports lover. It's kind of everywhere. But I think there's a time and a place for it, and I feel like this room is a room where we can go all out. And you can kind of cover it in as many posters and things like that as we can into here. And I think just a few more over here by the desk into there. Right, and now moving on to the teen room. So I tried to use a few different tricks into here. This was kind of the closest I got. So this is kind of the same style as the one we did for the Big Bay house, the kind of like space one, where I used a lot of the same sort of pieces and to try and create that sort of cool little look into there. That's kind of the same sort of aspect and like look that I wanted, but obviously not space themed. This time we're going for soft sort of purples, pinks, and that in here. Just trying to get this little teen room up here. There is also an upstairs bathroom which the two children share in here. This is kind of very much a sort of kids area up here as well. So just getting the little desk, dresser, and trying to create this a little bit more grown up kind of space. So having a little bit of makeup, a couple of bottles of like body lotion and stuff on here as well, just so that we can kind of fill out this whole little area. And just a little hairdryer that I always forget that we actually have, so I never really use it into here. But have another little desk in here as well, and just have lots more sort of clutter and bits and pieces, and a nice sort of teenage bedroom in here. They do also have another computer, because I feel like maybe they're busy doing like high school work, things like that, and you would need a computer for like studying or research or something like that for your schoolwork. But yes, it's slowly coming together, but I think we're coming up to wrapping up this video into here. So if you have enjoyed this video, then please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. You would mean so very, very much to me in here. But you can also find me over on Twitch, where I stream 3 times a week at the same username as here. So I'm over at MissKinghornBuilds, and also on Twitter, where I'm at MissKinghorn. There's even my Discord, which is the MKB Build Center, but you don't have to be a builder to join. Anybody and everybody is welcome, and there's lots of fun things happening over there as well. But yes, if you have a build or a family in mind that you would like to see a build for, do let me know in the comments down below. I do have one more build that I would like to get in, and then I'm kind of not necessarily taking requests, but I've got some ideas in there. Into here. That plant was actually from the new basements kit, but I actually get rid of it when we come to the screenshots, so you'll see all of that. But this is where I shall leave you. But until next time, thank you all for joining me. Bye everyone.